guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is my open book. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different in today's video, and I'm gonna be trying a read it or unhaul it challenge. So grab a drink and grab a snack and let's see if I can cull out some books that have been on my TBR for a while. Okay, I thought about picking books ahead of time, but I figured we should just go with it together because I was definitely overthinking it trying to pick books off my shelves. But I figured if I do it on camera with you guys, I'll be able to make like snappier decisions. We'll see if I can unhaul books that have been on my TBR for a while that are just not gripping me and that I'm just not really as interested in anymore. Or maybe like the writing style isn't for me, things like that. So let's roll the card around. See if I can do it without knocking you over. Okay. Oh, I moved you. Please hold. There we go. Okay. All right. Here's the cart. You can't even see it. I did all that for nothing. Lovely. Okay. Some of these are ones I like literally just bought, so I'm gonna skip those. Like I need to give those a chance. I literally just bought them. Let's see what has been on here the longest. Okay, let's just pick this one. We have Spellbound by Crystal J. Johnson and Felicity Vaughn. This is a Wattpad book. And on the back there, I'm pretty sure in this one she's like taking care of a hotel or something, and there's like two ghosts that are twin brothers. Yes, twins Archer and Soren Hyde are devastatingly sexy, brooding, and bound to the hotel for life, unable to leave except for one night a year. Each offers her something different. Archer is impish, fun, and the distraction that she needs. Soren is arrogant, passionate, sinfully attractive, and infuriating. Both want something from her too. One craves freedom and the other her heart. As she fights to save her beloved Reynard, that's their last names, I guess. What? I don't know. Oh no, Reynard is the hotel. Sorry, I'm like, who is Reynard? Emma will have to make a decision that could destroy her future, break her heart, and change things for eternity. So I don't know if this is a why choose or if she picks one and it's like a love triangle situation. I honestly have no idea, but this has been on my TBR for a while, so I'm just gonna read the first couple chapters and we're just gonna see if it grips me or not. Let's see, how does it start? I'll read you guys like the first sentence or something like that. People from all over the world flocked to the Raynor Hotel for one reason: ghosts. Okay, that's the first sentence. I'm gonna keep reading and I will report back. Okay, I'm back. I think this is gonna be an unhaul because I was already finding myself like skipping parts of the prologue, which I figured, okay, I'll still give it a chance because the prologue is like when the main character is a child and she's like around her aunt that owns the hotel at that time, and it's clear that she like has the same love for the hotel that her aunt does. So I guess it's kind of like giving you the backstory of like why she has a connection to this hotel. So I skipped to chapter 1 where her aunt dies and she's going to like figure out what was left to her in the will. She has a bratty sister, blah blah blah. So I found myself still skipping ahead a couple chapters just to see if there was anything that was going to grip me. And I get to chapter 7. So this is page 73, chapter 7. Almost every day since our dinner, I had found myself in a compromising position with Archer somewhere in the hotel. It was a risk to be so bold in the middle of my workday, but it was also a great stress reliever. Not to mention that sneaking around like two hormone-driven teenagers gave our rendezvous an added thrill. Okay, so we're not even like a third of the way in and they're already like sleeping together like every day. How between chapter 2 when like you just find out you're getting the hotel, so like that's like what, 5 chapters? In 5 chapters you're already at the point where you're sleeping together so often that you don't even go into the sex scenes anymore. You're just like, oh yeah, we slept together, moving on. That kind of gives me the ick. So I think this is going to be an unhaul. Okay, hopefully the rest of them are not this bad. I mean, this is a Wattpad book, but sometimes I like those. So I don't know, I was still hopeful, but I don't think this is going to be it for me. So that's going in the unhaul stack. Let's pick up Collide by Balcabra. This is a college hockey romance that has been pretty popular. But I'm worried about this one because I feel like this is going to be too cliche for me. Like, I've already read so many hockey romances with a similar setup So I feel like the writing really has to grip me, or like something with the characters really has to grip me at the beginning, or else I'm just gonna be bored. But the setup for this one is that she's gonna tutor him. So she's an honor student with an ambitious graduate school plan, and he's a jock with only hockey on his mind. But once their worlds collide, their connection is hot enough to melt an ice rink. But it is her lifelong dream of becoming a sports psychologist. But it also seems like she hates hockey players specifically. So like, I don't know why you're going into that profession if you don't like a sport. But what do I know? What do I know? Start this one. I'll read the first sentence to you guys. She's holding a gun to my head. Well, figuratively at least. The gun in question? Hockey. The woman holding it? Dr. Laura Langston, PhD. Hockey? You want me to do my grad school application on hockey? Why do I feel like I've read this setup before? I'll keep reading. I'll let you guys know. This one's going much better. I'm only on like page 5 and I already feel like I'm invested in the character. Some people would say, oh, this is just college, it's just a research paper, whatever, but like you could tell like it's very high stakes for her already, so I feel like that's what makes me so invested in her story. And the first sentence of his chapter, Aiden, she's watching me sleep, is the first sentence. I don't know, I feel like this is definitely what I want in a hockey romance, so I am gonna keep this and I will be reading it very soon. Maybe it'll be on my September TBR. Who knows? Okay, is there anything else on here that I want to like vet to make sure I like it? Oh, this one. This has been in a few TBR videos and I have not read it. Every time this comes on my TBR, I always skip it. This is Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. This is supposed to be like a sapphic fantasy of some kind, but it's also like historical. So it says a young noblewoman must pair up with an alleged witch to ward off a curse in this irresistible sapphic romance. It's the year 1814 and life for a young lady of good breeding has many difficulties. There are balls to attend, fashions to follow, marriages to consider, and of course the tiny complication of existing in a world swarming with fairy spirits, interfering deities, and actual straight-up sorcerers. It sounds lovely. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. Maybe if I read the first chapter, it'll like motivate me to actually read it the next time it comes up on my TBR videos. Alright, let's see. There is an author's note. Oh, with trigger warnings. Okay. Introductions, gentle reader, are in order. I am that knavish sprite that frights the maidens of the villagery. I am Oberon's jester. Was Oberon's jester. That's rather the issue. I am called Hobo Goblin. No, Hobgoblin. Hobo Goblin. Hobgoblin by some, and contrary to what certain people might have told you, it is not a name I like, and you shall not have good luck if you repeat it in my hearing. I am also your narrator. Okay, wait, that's kind of fun that there's a narrator. Ooh, I don't think I've read a book like that in a really long time. I think the last one I read like that was the Megan Quinn Christmas one that's supposed to be like The Grinch, and I loved that. Okay. Ooh, this might be a good audiobook to pick up too. I wonder if the audiobook has like a different narrator for the narrator. That would be cool. Okay. So I feel like I don't even need to read anything else. I'm definitely keeping this. I'm keeping this. Okay, wait. I actually have two. So this one is actually by an author that I know I like. However, she also has books that I didn't like. So I feel like she's a hit or miss. This is Story of My Life by Lucy Score. I loved her Knock 'Em Out books. Oh my god, why am I forgetting them? Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from the Light. Okay, those are some of my favorite small town romances. I also love, is it Never Never by her? It's a standalone. But when I tried to read a couple of her other books, they did not work for me. So I've kind of been hesitant to pick this up. The setup for this one is the female main character is a romance author, and the male main character is a hot, grumpy contractor. Come on. But it's also quite long. It's like almost 500 pages, which is pretty typical for Lucy Score. She does write pretty long books. Oh, there's a cute little map-ish of the small town. That's cute. And this does have like pretty sprayed edges, so I don't want to unhaul it because it's pretty. But I feel like I definitely need to make sure I'm gonna like this one. The chapter title is Vase Wine and an Ass Kicking. The harried trio of business-suited, triple espressoed women at the window were enthusiastically plotting the demise of someone named Bernard in audits. Or maybe they were just going to report him to HR. It was hard to hear over the usual coffee shop din. Looks like the author's in a coffee shop trying to write, but she's like getting distracted by all the conversations around her. It's okay, I'm an author. I'm supposed to talk to myself in public. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna unhaul this. I feel like I'm definitely not in the mood for this right now because it's definitely giving more humor at the moment, like kind of like Gilmore Girls, Crazy Small Town, which I feel like I am in the mood for sometimes. And maybe in the fall, like when I start watching Gilmore Girls again, I will want to read this. So I'm gonna keep it, even though I'm not like super excited about it at the moment, but that's okay. All right, I think the only other one I'm gonna pull off of my cart is Into the Woods by Jenny Holiday. This is supposed to be like a summer camp setting, and he is a grumpy rock star. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk. He's a grumpy rock star, and she is a cynical dance instructor, and it's supposed to be an enemies to lovers. Gretchen Miller is a bit of a badass, but even badasses get the blues when it comes to romance, and Gretchen could use a break from dating. So when she gets the offer to be the summer dance instructor at Camp Wild Arts, she leaps at the chance to embrace clean air, nature, and her inner crone. But every forest has pests. And the biggest one at Wild Arts is none other than Teddy Knight, the arrogant, infuriating, kind of hot if it weren't for the arrogant and infuriating part, rock star who happens to be Gretchen's fellow artist in residence. Fresh off his band's epic and ultra public breakup, Teddy's grouchier than a blackberry in spring, and Gretchen is happy to ignore the unexpected heat that she feels around him. Ooh. Okay, wait, this already sounds good. This is giving Camp Rock. Okay, let's see, how does it start? Once upon a time there was a girl named Gretchen Miller. Gretchen grew up to be a badass. She came from an okay family. Nobody hit each other or screamed at each other. They liked each other well enough most of the time, but no one ever had money. Oh boy. Daddy issues. Okay, I'm already excited. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. Okay, we've only unhauled one book so far. That's not too bad. Let me see if I can find other options from the other shelves. Okay, I picked 5 books. This one I definitely bought on a whim. I saw it at Sam's Club. It was only like $11. I was like, oh, it looks cute. I'll buy it. I don't know anything about it. So let's just see. So Spicy Enemies delivers romance about a disgraced tennis player who partners with her father's rival for a chance at redemption. Perfect for fans of Carrie Soto is Back and Icebreaker. That's probably why I picked it up, because I loved both of those books. So former tennis prodigy Scotty Sinclair is a cheat, or at least that's what the world thinks. After all, who would believe her own father secretly drugged her? Wait, what? Oh, this is definitely giving Carrie Soto is Back. It's like both of these players are trying to come back, but they're like old rivals. Okay, this sounds good. Let's see if the writing is gonna work for me. This is by Meg Jones. I've never heard anyone talk about this book or this author. Oh, a content warning. You wouldn't think a book like this would have a trigger warnings page, but it does. That kind of intrigues me. Explicit content throughout open door scenes. Dictionary available at the back of the book. Okay, I kind of want to look at the dictionary. Abusive father / coach, mentions of intentional and secret drugging, mentions of disordered eating, alcohol consumption, sexual harassment, verbal abuse, and slut shaming. Okay, I want to go to the dictionary. Oh, she tells you which chapters have the spice in them. That's nice, because not everyone may want that. Oh, that's what the dictionary is. Okay, so yeah, it tells you that chapters 27, 32, 36, and 44 are the ones that have sex scenes in them. Okay, I kind of appreciate that. I've never seen that done before. Oh, there's a playlist. We love a playlist. Oh, it's a long one. It's like a 2-page one. Oh, she loves Taylor Swift. There's Taylor Swift all over this thing. Oh, each chapter has a song. I like that. So the very first chapter goes with Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. Okay. A lifetime of living and breathing and bleeding the sport had led to this. A hot summer's day in mid-July, Wimbledon Center Court, the women's single final. First set was hers, the second mine, and third and final was so close, so within grasp, that my hands practically ached to feel the heavy weight of the winner's dish. Gripping the racket tightly, I rhythmically bounced the small green ball against the grass surface. Tiny thumps echoed around the vast, hushed arena as I counted. 1, 2, 3, just like Dad used to. Oh, this is definitely giving Carrie Soto is back. It even has like little articles in it. Okay. 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 Yep. I'm putting this on my TBR cart. I want to read that like now. Okay. I guess I do know how to pick them, huh? Well, I still have 4 books to go. Let me not speak too soon. Next, I have an I have an Ellen Hildebrand book. This is A Summer Affair. I want to like try something by her, but I don't really know where to start. So if you like her books and you think I should start with something else instead, let me know in the comments. But let's just start with this one. This is supposed to be a perfect summer cocktail of sex, sun, and scandal. What more could you ask for? If you haven't heard of this author, she does a lot of books set in Nantucket, and they're supposed to be like beach reads. They kind of involve like family drama usually. So this one says it captures the love, loss, and limbo of illicit romance and unchecked passion as it takes us on a brave and breathless journey into the heart of one modern woman. Claire wants it all, and in the eyes of her friends, she has it: a devoted husband, 4 beautiful children, even a successful career as an artist. But when serving as co-chair of Nantucket's social event of the year propels Claire into the orbit of billionaire Locke Dixon, unexpected sparks begin to fly. Locke insists on working closely with her, often over a bottle of wine, and before long, Claire can't ignore the subtle touches and lingering looks. To her surprise, she can't ignore how they make her feel either. Okay, so A Summer Affair. The title is very obvious and telling, clearly. Let me just see if I like her writing style. Prologue. The invisible thread that binds her to him. March 2003. The guilt was like a clump of tar in her hair, warm and sticky, impossible to remove. The more she fingered it, the worse things got. Tar gummed her hands. She tried water, but it formed a slick, milky film. She needed scissors and turpentine. The tar had been real. Back when Claire was 4 or 5, back when she and her parents lived in the first house in Wildwood Crest, a shoebox that Claire didn't remember living in, but that her mother was fond of pointing out when they drove through that part of town. I think her writing is going to work for me, even though she used some questionable words in that first sentence. But I feel like it's very fast-paced, and you're definitely like invested in the family drama at the very least. I just don't know how she's going to make me root for these people because they're having an affair. So I'm kind of curious to see how she does that. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm not going to unhaul it just yet. Okay, next, this is like a young adult mystery thriller, I believe. This is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie, I'm not sure how to say her last name. I'm not going to butcher it. It says, Sherlock Holmes meets Mary Shelley in this brilliant take on the legendary tale of Jack the Ripper. With memorable characters and deliciously sexy writing, she paints a picture of 19th century London that lives and breathes in wonderfully sinister fashion. You won't want to put this book down. So just like the title says, she's trying to catch Jack the Ripper. That's all I know. But I'm gonna read the first pages. Oh, there's there's pictures. This isn't the kind of book you want pictures of in. This is the first one. Okay. 1. Preliminary incision. Dr. Jonathan Wadsworth's laboratory, Highgate, August 30th, 1888. I placed my thumb and forefinger on the icy flesh, spreading it taut above the breastbone as Uncle had showed me. Ew! This first chapter is disgusting. I don't think this book is for me, y'all. This is pretty gory and it's very like scientific and like medical in terms of the criminal aspect of it. I'm more so like a Criminal Minds person where it's just them like talking about the thoughts and the behaviors, and I kind of get grossed out easily. So I don't know if I'm gonna like this take of it being with the dead bodies and the blood and the incisions, and I don't know. Yeah, I think this is gonna be an unhaul for me because I'm already nauseous. Okay, these next 2 are books that have been on my TBR probably like the longest since I started getting back into reading again. I'll never forget it. I've been reading books on my Kindle for a while, like probably mostly like rom-coms, right? And then I was kind of getting into like mafia romance and dark romance a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I want to start collecting books again. So I went to Barnes & Noble and I remember these are the 2 books that I bought. This was probably like 5 years ago. And I never read them. because then I got into the world of like booktube and bookstagram and all those things, and no one ever talked about these books, so I never read them. But I do still see them in Barnes & Noble to this day, so someone's buying them. I don't know. This one I think is like a romantic suspense. It's called Say You're Sorry by Karen Rose. And it says there's a serial killer on the loose, preying on vulnerable women. The only identifiable mark the killer leaves are letters, sometimes one, sometimes two, all carved into the torsos of his victims. Together they spell Sydney. So I guess she's like the special agent trying to catch the killer, but I think there's also like a romance subplot somehow. I don't know. And then we have The Beautiful, which is vampires. But I think this is a young adult. I'm not 100% sure, but it says, in 1872, New Orleans is a city ruled by the dead. But to 17-year-old Celine, New Orleans is a safe haven after she's forced to flee her life as a dressmaker in Paris. Taken in by the sisters of the Ursuline convent in the middle of the carnival season, Celine is quickly enraptured by the vibrant city, from its music to its fancy soirees and even its danger. She becomes embroiled in the city's glitzy underworld known as Le Cour des Lions, after catching the eye of the group's enigmatic leader, Sebastian Saint Germain. When the body of one of the girls from the convent is found in Sebastian's own lair, the second dead girl to turn up in recent weeks, Celine battles her attraction to Sebastian and suspicions about his guilt, along with the shame of her own horrible secret. So, I know this is like the first book in a series. I think it's a long series too, so let's see if it's gonna be for me. Okay, let's start with the Say You're Sorry first. Okay, prologue. Sacramento, California, Saturday, December 10th. 11:15 p.m. Good, she was waking up. Took her long enough. He took a drag on his cigarette and blew the smoke into her face. A coughing fit ensued, and by the time she'd calmed down, her dark eyes were open and staring up at him. She was scared. This pleased him. Okay, serial killer, obviously. He smiled down at her. They were always scared, and this always pleased him. Daisy Dawson flinched when Trish's finger poked her up her arm. What? She asked, knowing she'd been distracted. She returned her attention to her friend, who stopped in the middle of the sidewalk. I'm sorry, what did you say? What's wrong with you tonight? You're jumpy. Is it because of Gus? Do I need to call Rosemary? Who are these people? Okay, why do I like the serial killer chapter more than hers? Yikes. Yeah, I feel like this kind of writing never works for me, where you're gonna be confused for like most of the book because you don't know who anybody is, but the main character is talking about these people as if you know who they are, and that isn't gonna work for me. We're gonna unhaul. Like, are we surprised? It's been on my shelf for 5 years. Clearly, if I was gonna read it, I would have. All right, now let's try this vampire one. This kind of gives like True Blood vibes because it's in New Orleans, right? But this is more historical, and this is young adult as well. It has like some poetry at the beginning. So yeah, this takes place in 1872. New Orleans is a city ruled by the dead. I remember the moment I first heard someone say this. The old man meant to frighten me. He said there was a time when coffins sprang from the ground following a heavy rain, the dead flooding the city streets. He claimed to know of a Creole woman on Rue Dauphine who could commune with spirits from the afterlife. I believe in magic. In a city rife with illusionists, it's impossible to doubt its existence. But I didn't believe this man. Be faithful, he warned, for the faithless are alone in death, blind, and terrified. I feigned shock at his words, but in truth I found him amusing. Two of my deepest truths. I will always possess an errant young soul, no matter my age, and I will always be the shadowy creature in darkened alcoves waiting. For you, my love. For you. Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. I feel like I'm gonna keep this. Part of the reason why I haven't read it is just because I know it's like the beginning of a series. We all know I'm in the middle of way too many series right now. But I am intrigued by this. I love a good vampire paranormal romance. I do. And I do like the writing so far in this one. So I could see myself picking this up one day. Maybe someday. I don't know. Time will tell. We're gonna keep it for now. Okay, so I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went through like about 10 books, I think, right? I think I went through about 10 books. And we're only unhauling 3. But we're still making progress, and that works for me. I think I need to start doing this like once a month so that I can start narrowing down the books on my TBR, because your girl goes a little crazy at the bookstore sometimes, I will admit. but shopping for books is just so fun, you know? Okay. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below telling me, do you think there are other books by these authors I should give a chance instead, or maybe like other books that are similar that you think I would like? Well, let me know. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see the next time I decide to do this challenge. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!